So, I was trying to upload this video and it's just too big. So I'm going to go over this in segments. It's easier to upload that way. Alright. This morning video is basically, we're going to just talk about, we're hooking things up. We've installed the motor. There's no transmission. We're being a 4-year-old project that got taken apart quite a few years ago. We're having to go back and double check routing of tubings and how everything laid out and what's going to be functional and not functional, how wiring was laid out. The young man that initially damaged this car didn't put it together very well in the first place, so we're having to double check our routing of here and there. Son, one of the things I would like to do, since I'm not sure how well our timeline's going here, is put a dual fan in here. It's expensive, but eliminate the mechanical fan that goes here. Put a dual fan on the radiator that's not here right now. The temperature sensor goes to the lower water hose. There's a whole kit that goes with that. I think it'd be huge upgrade to this car. Not just for the cooling capacity, but out here in the desert. But just the functionality of this car, because I think that fan is not very good, the mechanical, and it has a dual fan, but the one fan is just for the air conditioning. Okay, so basically what we're doing this morning is what we've been doing the last couple of days, just going over things, trying to verify where things go, replumb everything, checking where wiring goes. Down here we have our starter wires. We have one wire. That's the only wire I don't know where it's going just yet. I haven't crawled underneath the car and figured out where that one travels off to. Alternator and oil pressure, MAF, actually throttle body, excuse me. MAF on this one's on the other side of the car. Throttle body, a main harness of some sort here. I'm forgetting. Oh, that one traveled down the rail. I don't remember exactly where everything goes. That's probably idle air control and the AC air control. So when the AC comes on, it kicks up the idle a little more. Knock sensor. We had to go out to the boneyard, get a whole harness and a knock sensor for this thing. Was left out the first time by the young man. Water temperature, sending unit, injector rail set up great. We got to clean this up a little bit. Set up a harness. These were initially plastic plugs in. Make sure our vacuum lines are all over here. We got a few that we're going to replace on this side. See one that's rotted right there. It's got cracks in the top. I am not sure what this pump is. I'm assuming it has something to do with the smog control. I'm thinking it's on the air side since it comes in from the air box. Pump fresh air around something. Not sure where this hose goes to just yet. It definitely didn't go in the exhaust that I know of. Figure out where all the lines were routed to, what's going to be rerouted, what needs to get cleaned up, what needs to get changed. Ground bolts, gotta go get a couple of those. Get our grounds good and clean, and there were, I already wire brushed them a little bit. Just gotta go get some new bolts for them. Transmission's not mounted in just yet. I'm gonna turn this over, obtain oil pressure. Pull the spark plugs. Fuel filter, fuel pump's out of it right now, so this is the opportune time. I gotta go get a couple bolts to put the starter in, and I think I can turn it over, prime the oil pump. We're going to prime the oil pump on this particular model. We're going to double check, make sure we've got plenty of oil in there. Take this plug out, go straight into the oil pump, and pump some. I don't remember what the heck Don asked me to grab, but we're supposed to. He's going to come over and help me with that. I've always plumbed old units, and you just put some grease up in them, and they were driven straight off of out of the oil pan. All of them are pulled out of the oil pan, but this one particularly is odd. It's like the Toyota that I used to have. Is the pump's actually up in the front cover on these, which I think we've already went over before, son. This is the old timing cover, and the reason why we're scrapping this out is metal was went through the motor, and this pump that's in here is scored. The back plate scored, the front plate scored, so even though that probably would still function, theoretically you would not build as much oil pressure as you normally would, because it would be blowing out through those galleys, and the goring or the marring that's on the metal could grab each other, even though it's got oil pumping through it, and start sending oil back through, or metal back through the motor. We don't want that. No, no, no. So in this particular incident, change the oil pump. Brand new oil pump. Expensive, but extremely necessary. One of the things that I've noticed on this particular model of young men, either they're losing oil pressure up here to the upper galleys, or their chains are wearing and they're having issues up in this area. And the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place this morning is because it's a dual chain setup. We are at 7 minutes already. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this one, and we'll go from there. See you next time.